Hello guys, welcome back to this channel. JAMB is out again and I believe you're ready to get started. And the truth is that before you get started, you need to put some things in place. And that's why in this video today, I'm going to be talking about JAMB 2025 registration guidelines and updates, as well as different changes that are involved in this year's current JAMB registration. So if you're a student preparing for JAMB, or you have a child, or you have a ward that is preparing for JAMB, here are some of the informations that you need to get sync with, so that you will be able to prepare your students or your children properly for the next coming JAM. So specifically, we are going to be looking at JAM for the year 2025. Let's go into the video very quickly. So some of the things we are going to be sharing is this: the key date for the JAM 2025 registration. Registration date is going to be starting from Wednesday, January 15, 2025. That's when the registration is going to be, and the deadline for the registration is going to be Wednesday, February 26th, 2025 as well. The mock exam date will follow thereafter in March 7th, on Friday 2025, and also the mark slip reprinting. Don't forget, after you have registered, there's a reprint. That reprint will now carry your venue for the exams and all those other details. Will be happening from Thursday, April 10th, 2025, and the exam date is going to be commencing for 10 days, and it's going to be within the 18th and 28th of April 2025. Thereafter, the result will be released on the 30th of April 2025. That's after like 2-3 days after the exam. You should be expecting release of result. Release of result will commence thereafter. So I need you to pay attention to this date, so that by now you should know that when you are supposed to go and get your JAM registration done. So by next week, right now, if you're watching this video right now, so on the um, 15th of January, make sure you go and get your JAM registration done. So let's proceed with the next tip I have for you today. The next thing to take note of is the changes that have been made to the post-UTME screening, right? So the percentage allotment for the O level result and the UTME result varies, right? For the O level result, you have about 40% of your total mark is based on whatever you score on your O level, and about 60% of what is your UTME rather will contribute 60% to the post UTME. Unlike before, that you have to write an exam, and the school will do some screening for you and all those different things. Your post UTME screening basically is dependent on your O level scores and your UTME scores. So your O level scores must be very gigantic, because it's going to contribute 40% of all the total mark. That means you should have as many A's as possible, right? So as many A's as possible is what you need. Don't be struggling to get a C or a D and all those things, right? Make sure you get as many A's as possible. Get A's in those simple subjects, those subjects that you feel very convenient doing. So for if you're a science student, look for subjects that you are very good with, right? All those geography, I don't know how it is done now. Whatever subject that looks very simple, take it that way and make sure you get an A in that particular course. That way you'll be able to boost your grade during your post UTME screening. And also for a UTME exam, you need to start preparing. I'll be telling you what you need to do right now. But when you prepare very well, your UTME score will be giving 60% mark to the total post UTME screening result for you. And I believe you want to do very well in both of them, right? So let me share with you. The compulsory novel for the year 2025 is The Life Changer by Khadija A. Jali. Now, the tip is that you must start reading early to improve comprehension and preparation for questions. So you need to get to understand the question and be able to make sure that you go through the novel, understand all the different nitty-gritties involved in all the novels, and make sure you can answer questions about the novel, basically, right? So the next thing you must also take note of is that English language is compulsory for all students, no matter your subject combination. English language is compulsory, and everybody knows that already, right? So another advice is that you must choose your remaining three subjects carefully based on your course of study and your institution of preference. The reason why I'm mentioning institution of preference is because most students just go ahead and, maybe because they are colleague or friend is picking this particular school and maybe they are doing the same course. There are situations where I found that some schools prefer some particular courses to the other. So some will specifically tell you to add government to the course, while others will tell you that you can choose any art combination. I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say. So for that particular course, so different schools now have some things, not really necessarily make them different, but it makes them unique. So you must make sure you pay attention to this particular information. So when you are registering, you check, you go to the institution of choice, go to your school, get their detail for your department. So if you are going to, if you are chemistry, physics, go and check the department and be sure of the subject combination that they request for in the university, so that you will not end up shooting your leg yourself on the foot, right? So let's move on and share with you the next tip for today. Subject combination for courses like medicine and surgery is English, biology, physics, and chemistry. While for those in the art accountancy class, you have English, mathematics, economics, and any social science course, which is economics and the rest, geography and the rest. All right. So JAMB subject combination for law students is English, literature, economics, and any other art subject combination. Right. Reasons for this update. Now, why am I giving you this update? The reason is very simple. It helps them to be able to align with admission based on international standards. And what do I mean by that? I'm trying to tell you that based on international standard, JAMB is looking for a way that they can be able to flow with the international requirement worldwide. JAMB don't just want to be a body that does its own thing on its own. They want to be validated by international standards, right? So the next thing also is because they want to emphasize on academic excellence. They want students to do very well, and that should be the reason why they are giving admission. And as well to discourage reliance on average grades, right? The era of C's is over. So you must consider that the era of C's is over. Why is the era of C over? This is because your C's will no longer count. Maybe if your A is contributing about 5 points to you, your C's will be contributing about 2 points or thereabout, right? So you must make sure you're able to get the best of A's as much as possible. The next thing I'll be sharing with you in today's video is my tip for you to be able to do very well in your exam. The first tip I'll be sharing with you is this: you need to start preparing early. You must focus on getting, so that means that this particular tip is for those of you that are preparing to write WAEC as well as your JAM. You must make sure you start thinking of A's. Now, this is what I will advise you to do. Go ahead, out of the 9 subjects that you are going to be writing, pick minimum, at least pick up to 4 or 5 subjects that you love the most. It could be English, maths, chemistry, physics, government, literature, accounting, whatever course you love the most. Tell yourself you are going to score A in these courses. You must have that conviction, right? Once you have that conviction, then you now put in all the necessary resources, your time, your effort on those particular 5 courses, and make sure you guarantee yourself scoring A in those particular courses. Once you're able to do that, then the ones that prove to be difficult to you, that doesn't mean you will not focus on them as well. You need to seek for help. Ask people, reach out to people that you know would be able to help you. So reach out to them and ask them to help you whenever you have having any difficulty. And that will mean that you need to go and start leveraging on past questions. Don't just read. Now, if you are going to be writing an exam today, this year rather, I do expect you to start reading. I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say. I do expect you to start reading. This is not a time to read. This is time to practice. Now, by now, in some schools, they finish the syllabus from SS1 to 3 now. As in by last time, they must have finished the syllabus, and by now, they expect you to start preparing. When I was teaching then, what we do in the school I was teaching is that the syllabus is compressed to help cover everything from SS1 to SS3 third term syllabus within SS1 and SS2. So once everything is choked up and students are taught everything, now it's now left for the student to go ahead and start reading vigorously, to reading now, right? And also practicing. So if you need to start practicing questions now, by now you need to have all the different past questions, right? All the different past questions, WAEC past question, NECO past question, JAM past question for all the subjects. For JAM past question, you need to have that of English and the other three combinations, and you start reading every day. So you must make sure that at least in a day you solve up to 5 years question in the different subject. And it could reading could be that sometimes you just become familiar with some of these questions, because the truth is that there are no new questions. They keep recycling all these questions, so you need to start making sure you practice past questions, and also ensure accuracy when filling out registration form. This is very important because you don't want to find yourself in a situation whereby you have issues with your JAM registration details. I would like you to subscribe to this channel if this video looks like something that you are interested in. I would love you to ask your questions. If you have any question about schools, I've been having some students reach out to me, send me DMs on what they can do as regard their registration. So when they're having difficulty with their post-UTME registration, reach out to me. I'll be willing to help you out. My name is Akinbola Ezekiel, and I'll be seeing you in other videos. Thank you.